on the internet, you can join us at www.facebook.com/Pan-African Television. There's, of course, of you watching from the comfort of your homes across the 16 regions of the country. Thank you so much for tuning in. And today being a holiday, I'm cocksure that you are going to enjoy today's conversation. I've been joined this morning by Solomon Owusu of the Movement for Change, the Maverick Solo. Solo, good morning.
Good morning, my brother.
I hope you're fine.
It's been a while that I saw you. You've been doing well, I know. Yes. But today is Salah. So from here we are going to Fadama.
We are going to Fadama.
And follow Sheikh.
Follow Dr. Marazuk.
Yes. So that you get it.
Yeah. This isn't the big one. This one, the
just chicken. Like this one is not big one. This one is big. There is something to eat. What are we celebrating? We are going to follow him to go and eat. Solo is right.
Yeah. That's what good morning.
Good morning,
I hope you're fine, sir.
Alhamdulillah. Barakade. Allah maita.
I don't know how to respond to the final parts.
Baraka.
Well, in solidarity with today's holiday, of course, we see Mr. President Kajay in his what's the name? What's this one?
Jalbab.
Okay.
In Arabic, it's jalbab.
Yes. And we have corrupted it, or it's
jalabia. So in his corrupted version, it is jalabia. But in Arabic, it's jalbab.
I see. So is it jalbab? And with a cup too much. Mr. Kajay, good morning.
Good morning. Baraka de Salah to all my Muslim friends across the country, and we wish a speedy recovery to Vice President. I think, is Amma in town?
Yes, Amma is in town. I know so.
Okay.
But why is Amma in town? I think, I'm sorry to cut you short. There seems to be a kind of hijacking Amma's responsibility, because so far, I don't speak for NDC, because I am not a member of NDC. But so far what I have observed is that Amma is officially the spokesperson for the Vice President, right? She is, at least her official title is the Press Secretary for the Vice President. But most often we hear anything about the presidency, whether the office of the Vice President or the President himself is coming from Felix. Honorable Felix. I don't know why. I think that is that convention. I mean, that is actually a violation of a convention. And if they started this time, it will be very difficult. I am just here as an ordinary Ghanaian to advise that people appointed to handle official communications
should be allowed to do their work.
Should be allowed to do their work. We should not allow any form of hijacking or any form of authoritarianism within constitutionalism. You cannot be working for a constitutional president and then you do things that are not in line with democratic culture. I strongly believe that yes, there are signs, and the signs are clear. And if what we are witnessing is not halted, it will become a norm. And you know, politicians will normally normalize anything in their interest. So I am just, this is a humble observation. Maybe, I mean, other people have observed it and may not have the opportunity to say it.
Our very own Honorable Alex Segbefia is a chief of staff to the Vice President, and of course he's a friend to all of us here. He's appeared on this station,
and you have even reminded me of something. And I think President John Mahama means well when he decides to appoint a special chief of staff for the office of the Vice President. This is a novelty. This is to tell Ghanaians that the office of the Vice President matters a lot.
It carries
all over, I mean, all along, it looks as if the office has been undermined. I mean, all along. But this is the time the President wants us to recognize that office and to allow the office to work well. So if that is the President's vision, in my estimation, then the staff of the President should allow the staff of the Vice President to function very well and to be seen to be functioning. But they should be seen to be functional, especially when a person is responsible for the communication of the vice presidential office. That person should be allowed to do. And of course, we are dealing with gender balance. Yes, that's another observation. Gender balance. You hold your presidential communication, allow her to hold her vice presidential communication. And I think that would speak well.
It looks like I'll give Alaji a topic, but let me take it back.
Yeah.
I asked of Amma because...
I'm sorry.
That's okay. I asked of Amma because I've been trying to reach her. When I got here, I was hoping to firsthand see her and find out how things are going. I've been trying to reach her, and even though it's ringing, I'm not getting her. So that's why I was asking if she's in town. But yes, Alex Segbefia is a friend too, and I'll be reaching out to him. I agree with Alaji in part that as we try to reset Ghana and reset the presidency as he's recounted, I think it's good for the president to have given some amount of autonomy to the office of the vice president, actually, and even extra powers. You realize that even in the past, the vice president's office has been largely being on the police council. Now it's been elevated even further to the military council and all that. And for the very first time, we have a female vice president. And I think much as it's refreshing, she has a female press secretary. And in keeping with the affirmative action credentials of President Mahama and his government, I think that in that particular instance, I agree with him that it would have been nicer or better to be hearing a female speak on affairs to do with our female vice president, and also to show the separation, even if not, you know, a gulf. But again, I want to also put in perspective that the presidency has a spokesperson and a deputy spokesperson, and that outfit is headed by Felix Fosukwachi, and he's the minister responsible for government communications. So the president and the vice president form the government, and so it is not out of place. But going forward, I agree with Alaji that perhaps we need to look at it a little bit better in terms of the optics of it. And so Felix, I think Shamima, even if Shamima had spoken, maybe would have better. But again, he's the minister, so let's get him that this time around. But hopefully going forward, we're a listening government.
But let me also add that yes, it is theoretically we are dealing with the American executive presidency. So the office of the vice president and that of the president are seen to be two in one. Right? But you know, our democracy has come to a stage where we will have to operationally allow the office of the vice president to be working.
That's very true.
I just want to add that. To be working, and the best way we can allow that office to be working and to be seen to be working, not to be working, but to be seen by the public to be working, is to allow the officers to exercise their legitimate
mandates.
I'm
sure that Dr. Valerie Sawyer will be taking notes right now.
To add what you've already said, the president, when he was campaigning and was flag bearer for the NDC, he made it abundantly clear that Professor Jane was going to be his co-driver and not a driver's mate, as posited by the SWAO administration.
Exactly.
And so if he's going to be,
so far done that. So far he's done that. If you see the various fora that have been put together by the president as part of his consultative posture of his government, he's given the vice president unfettered, you know, as opposed to previous times that we've seen. And I think that in keeping with that, again, I would want us to step it up further. I mean, let's keep improving. And I know Dr. Valerie Sawyer is going to take the right notes, and I'm sure Marietta and others are also going to whisper into people's ears, and the right things will be done. Yes.
Right. But again, Mr. Dekeje, I've been hearing so much about La lately, and I know La is a place you do not joke with at all. Oftentimes you'll be here, and then even before you comment on the topics that we have tabled for conversation, your obiter dicta, as said in law, I mean, most of the things that you talk about before you come to the substantive issues for conversation, you talk about law and the issues regarding land grabbing by, you know, state apparatuses and all of that. So, but what's been happening? I've been hearing about the installation of some chief has caused some, you know, rancor over there.
Well, if you really put me on the spot, well, what's today's date? Is it 1st April?
Today's 31st of March. Today is the last day of the...
Oh, I was going to say maybe it's an April Fool's joke.
The time will not allow you.
Yes, but I think it's certainly today is not the 1st of April, so we can't consider it a pre-April Fool's joke. Yes, the truth is that all is not well, and I think we must say it as it is. We will resettle and we'll make sure the right things are done. Yes, it is true that land grabbing has been synonymous with la, but mostly when land grabbing or lands, which are the prime lands in Accra, are talked about, it's mostly the politicians, etc., who are at the forefront. But it is true that my people are also thieves. Yes, some of my people are thieves, chiefs inclusive.
Are they chiefs or thieves?
No, if a thief is a chief or a chief is a thief, he is what he is. And we must call people out. So we're going to open our eyes. A long time ago, once upon a time, when people are being looked for to be installed or installed, they ran away. These days, people are not only coming forward, lobbying, they're actually buying stools and buying their way to stools in order to have the authority not to do anything but to steal. And so you don't become a chief, you become a thief. And so if you use the stool to steal, look, I will not shield anybody. I come from the royal house. My dad was the immediate past Jasiche. He is dead, his seat is vacant, yet to be filled. I hear of some purported filling of that vacancy. Please, I think they should go and do the right thing. Professor Blade Glover and the rest of the people should go and do the right thing. The police, I understand, told them to go and write formally. If you want to do a public event, you have to serve the police 5 days notice. And that was, I think, on Wednesday or Thursday. If you were to count even the day they were given the verbal, you know, instructions by the police commander, that's the divisional commander at cantonments. Is it 5 days already? Assuming they brought the letter that instant. It's not 5 days. And you know, deceit of public officer is a crime. It's a crime. It's a serious offense. And so I want to entreat my people in to be law-abiding and do the right thing. The chieftaincy institution is not a joke. It's guaranteed under the Constitution of Ghana. Section 57 of the Constitution is clear about who can be installed the chief. Or chiefs are not just the paramount C level. There are lower levels all the way to. There are 3 vacancies right now. There's a Kuchoche, there's a Jasiche, and then there's a Manche. The Manche is the paramount chief. The Jasiche is the one who is the head of the royal, you know, all the royal families, and he is the one who is the father to the Manche. He is actually in charge of the stool and all stool, property and so on. Then the Akuchoche, that's the Kwe Akuchoche, is the head of the royal family. In fact, Kwe is the Lumoshishi. That's where royalty starts and ends. That is the ruling class. Okay, so. It should have been filled in succession. So the Akuchoche, my dad was a Jasiche, so there's a rotational system. So it's gone to the next house. That's where Professor Blade Glover comes from. And then the Akuchoche is supposed to come from my house. That's Akonowe. That's the first house in La, from where the chieftaincy started. And then different gates were opened. We have 4 gates that the chieftaincy rotates. The last match was from Professor Blade Glover's house, and so it's moved to the next house. That's Honorable Rita Odolesowa, that's the MP and Minister for Chief Minister for Local Government and Chieftaincy and Religious Affairs, you know. And her father was the head of that family, and he was supposed to have brought the new Lamanche after the demise of the Lamanche to my father to install a new Lamanche. Unfortunately, her dad died before the process could be completed, and then now my dad has died, so both need to be replaced, and then, you know, other replacements. So the purported installment of somebody to replace my father is premature. There are processes that have to be done from Professor Blade Glover's end, where the last Lamanche, that's the Lamanche Nikobitetetru, was from. And there's a gate within that house from which the person should have been selected from. Professor Blade Glover is the head of that house. That's the Shia Onukpa for Bobiwe. Then there's a gate where people like notables like Maka Matefiu and several others. I mean, the Swedish Consul General and others. Plenty, notables come from. The ideal thing is that the head of that gate, internal gate, must, through a selection process, come up with a nominee and then be presented to the head of the house, that is the main gate, that is Professor Abadi Glover. And then it will be presented to the Jasi for confirmation before the instruments. The Jasi is not aware, at least according to the reps say they are not aware, others are not aware. And so when they purported to have done that thing, the meat that is shared was rejected. So that's an absolute rejection of the person. As to the reasons assigned, I don't think I want to go there. I'm sure there are ways of, curing the situation, but it is a nullity, because even where the thing is supposed to be done, all customary rites in law, the key customary rites, are performed in our house, Akonowe. That's the stool house. It was not done there. It's like a court hearing, and you are a judge. You go and sit in your toilet. You're sitting in your toilet. It's not a sitting of the court. It's a nullity. It's a nullity, yeah. So, all that has happened hasn't happened. And then two is that
wasn't followed.
Yes, the judge is unaware, it's been rejected by all the royal houses and everything. So it hasn't happened. And that's why I was hoping that if today was 1st April, I could have considered it a bad April Fool's joke and then we just laugh over it. Yeah. But chieftaincy's issues are serious, and we will resettle. I assure you, the next time I come, I'm sure Honorable Rita is on top of that. And it's an embarrassment. I wish you hadn't raised it on set, but it must be dealt with. It must be dealt with. Right. It will be dealt with.
Right. Let's move away to a substantive conversation for this morning. We are starting with a very topical issue, one that has left all of Ghanaians, shaking and in awe. We are all in awe by the extent of rot that is currently ongoing at the Electricity Company of Ghana, or that has gone on at the Electricity Company of Ghana. The missing containers. Look at the size of a container. Not one, not two, 1,300 of them
plus
going, over 1,300 of them going missing. But the minority leader, Honorable Afenyo Makin, has been speaking, and he's asked that we do not politicize the issue. We should rather, resort to a bipartisan approach in dealing with the matter. He was board chair.
Did he say why?
Well, he was board chair. Yes, he stated why. If you'd permit me, he said. Okay. He said, people often see things in a very radioactive state, or because he has taken a partisan twist. I'm saying that we can do better as politicians. Let us look at the root cause, solve that problem. Don't let us say it is an MPP problem. They caused it. The more we continue to do that, the more the system continues to cave in. We shouldn't be so comfortable, he stated. And he also said that he was going to support Honorable Jinapo. If he is indeed committed to an overhaul, he should count on the support of the minority. The minority leader also emphasized that the structural inefficiencies within state-owned enterprises, noting that they contribute to recurrent crisis. In a lot of SOEs, there are structural inefficiencies that affect the state. I believe that let us use this issue to tackle it comprehensively and get all hands on deck. It doesn't matter the party that is in power. Well, he said the right things, but the question is, what's on the mind of all and sundry is that you were the board chairman for the Electricity of Ghana. Were you in the known about these things? Did you know about these things? Also yesterday, I read somewhere that Dubik Mahama, who was the managing director for ECG, somewhere in 2023, wrote a letter asking them to cease the purchase of these materials. It means that he knew about this, and then he later on decided to resign as the MD of Electricity Company of Ghana. Let me start with you.
I want to disagree with you on him having said the right things.
He
didn't say the right things.
Okay. Yeah, let Prince carry on.
He did not say the right things.
The Prince, of course, that's why I wanted here. But let Mr. KJ start the conversation.
This is not the only correct thing he said is about the thing not being politicized. It has not been politicized.
Okay.
At least Jinapo John, the minister for energy and green, now let me just even leave it at energy for now, because this is an energy sector pure one, has not politicized the matter. You know, sometimes somebody wants to set agenda by talking about the agenda he wants to set, as though let's not do this, but he's doing it. Okay? And it's not been politicized. John Jinapor indicated that these are the facts as given to them during the transition. He was then not minister.
Yeah.
So he couldn't have done very much.
Yeah.
Upon assumption of office, within 5 days, on the 4th day of his being sworn in, he went to the port to cross-check for himself after reading everything and interacting with the people in that office. He went to the port himself and got some shocking revelations, upon which basis he set up a committee. He did not just arbitrarily start doing things. He followed due process. Where's the politics of this? The only reason why he is doing what he's doing is because he was board chairman. He did say one thing though, that he was aware of this thing, and this thing has been going on for years. What did he do about it for the 2 or so years that he was board chairman, or even if it was 1 year, even if it was for 6 months? And he said he was aware. Even let's say he became aware after he became board chairman, or after the MPP lost power, after the handing over. What has he done? This is a crime. Being aware of a crime and doing nothing about it is even worse than being the one who committed the crime, especially if you are a leader of sorts, worthy of the sort. Who hasn't been doing politics nearly everything in Ghana? Is it Afonyo Markin? So what is he preaching to us about? He should have been the first to be arrested. He should have actually handed himself over to the police. He supervised this thing. Dubik Mahama in his resignation cited personal reasons. Do you remember?
Yeah.
Do you remember that the former board chairman, Kelly Gajepo, that is Ken Ofriata's partner in the data bank and the enterprise group, also when he was resigning, cited what? Personal reasons. People are running all over the place asking for the president to disclose why he does this, why he didn't do that, why he breathed through his left nostril and not his right nostril. But we will not ask people why they are resigning and stated personal reasons. What are the personal reasons? Why was Kelly Gadepo appointed to the board by Ken Ofriata? Was it to just oversee the mess with the PDS? And we all know the role he played in that. Has he been arrested? The meters, the meters, the money that we paid, prepaid people, over 15 billion, has it been brought back? People are working free in this country. People are working free in this country, having taken over our wealth, having attempted and sometimes failed in the state capture. PDS was a good example of state capture. There has been several. Look, do you know, it's not just money we lost in PDS. And look, we'll come back to the wiring thing in a moment, but I just want to paint the picture very well from the time that President Akufo-Addo and Bawumia took over government of Ghana. Energy sector, the first thing they sought to say was that there was waste energy, excess power. So excess power, it means that we had too much power, right? And the problem that confronted us, which resulted in Dumso, was because there wasn't enough power to distribute.
Yeah.
Dumso was the result of energy shortage over years of not replenishing, and that is from the Energy Commission's own report, not from an NDC report, but a state institution's report, that every X number of years there should be a Y percentage of addition to the energy generation capacity of this country, because look, the population is expanding, the economy is growing, and we expect to industrialize and so on. What do you do? In fact, the vision of President John Dramani Mahama in his first term, that's his first coming, was to industrialize. Okay, so he wanted to have excess power to be able to export excess power in order to get our industries running. Okay, these guys came on the back of industrialization with a slogan, one district, one factory, and didn't create factories. Instead, they came and bastardized everything that had been done. They claimed that the American was riddled with scandals. They set up an Addison commission who went and rather tried to get bribes from the people who were in charge of that. They didn't find any fault. Where did the American plant end? In Kumasi. Just for politics, in order to get Ashanti votes to win an election. This is the NPP. So when we talk about politics of the energy sector, this is the NPP. When we talk about state capture within the corridors of the energy sector, it is the NPP, PDS and so on. Look, Gabi came and told us the president's Baba was part of the people who had been put on the PDS thing. On what basis, what criteria was used in selecting these people? And our meters, money is still with them. We lost money that was coming from America to help us now expand and stabilize our energy sector so that we can have a situation where we are exporting, we are net exporter of energy to the sub-region. We lost that money, we lost that opportunity. Look at the people who are preaching to us. Do you know the role that people like Charlie, look, people must be arrested. Look, frankly, a lot of people must be arrested. It is just sad that we are not arresting at the rate at which we should be arresting. But when you arrest the people, you must interrogate them, you must investigate them, and you must jail them, prosecute and jail them. Look at someone like Ken Ofriata. He's now suing the investigative agencies, and people are watching. The CSOs, the pseudo-neutrals, they are looking on. A thief. Look, you catch a common criminal and he says he's suing the police. No. Hold on. I haven't mentioned. I said a thief. You catch a thief. Have I said a thief?
You didn't mention anybody.
You catch a thief today, red-handed, and then the thief says he's suing the policeman for arresting him. The policeman should go and remove his name for the station die. He should go and remove this. He's actually saying that remove all record of his crime or alleged crime from the records of the police. What nonsense is that? With a common criminal, a common thief, they are allowed to do that. So what about the super thieves? The person who has hijacked the whole state, has taken all our money. This man claims to be sick, so sick that he cannot be in the country. Yet every day he's giving instructions to the special prosecutor. What the hell is going on here? And then the CSOs and all those so-called neutrals are silent. So I mean, look, this country should get serious. So if we cannot arrest the people and we cannot retrieve the loot, then we will be in this state. We must decide what we want. Do we want to move forward? Ghanaians overwhelmingly voted for John Dramani Mahama to recover all the loot, arrest all the criminals. In fact, the tribunal system must work. The public tribunals must work. They must start working now. We must have fast-track special courts to try and deal with such things. Look, 24-hour economy must start with the judicial system, and I think that this is the time for Justice what's her first name? I don't even know. Gertrude. This is her time. She's still Chief Justice, right? Until the clock runs out on her, she's Chief Justice. This is her time to show, even if that's the last thing she does, she should allow the public tribunals to start working. She should allow the special courts to start the prosecutions, because Afenu is coming. The way she speedily got Afenu, some people to sit and deal with his issues in December. Was it November? December, Afenu's case should be the first one that should be tried with the public tribunal. Look, everybody who has been in the ECG ecosystem must be brought to come and testify, and they should tell us. Nobody should be allowed to tell us personal reasons. What do you mean personal reason? You're a public servant, for goodness sake. You're entrusted with the people's resources. The annoying thing is that, look, they think we are fools. They are recycling our things to us. We use taxpayers' money, including pensioners' money, to go and import cables so that people all over the country can have. People are sleeping in darkness. Now, if we have excess power, which they claim, and ECG is supposed to be distributing, what is it going to be distributing with? It means the cables must go everywhere. What did George Wallace do? He tried to expand the network to about 90-something%. and we should have been hitting 100%. That should be our target. And we should be exporting to other places. That should be our target. So when the taxpayers' money is used to import these cables to be used in a good listen, and some of the cables have been stolen anyway, they need replacement. Then these thieves come, steal the thing, and it's not just 1,300 and something containers. This is just over a short period. What we've seen over a short period between, let's say, December 7th, 8th, 9th, when the transition team came into being, and now. So if on a regular basis like this said was happening over the years, look at the ESLA money. The amount that has been brought in, over 45 billion. We were supposed to be servicing a 15 billion, and now we are hitting debt of 80 billion. What does it make sense? You have something that's brought in 45 to cure a 15 hole, and now you have a hole bigger than 80. What nonsense is going on? It is all because these things are being allowed. Afenyo at the head of the board, and Dubik and others, Kelly Gajepo and others, strategically appointed. These people are strategically appointed to steal. They should prove to us that they didn't steal, or they did not supervise the stealing. The stealing has happened under their watch. And Ghanaians are supposed to be going to pay for IMF, whatever. We are supposed to pay. It is these people. Their assets should be seized, their bank accounts frozen. And look, they must be prosecuted. It should be on television. Ghanaians want to see. And I doff my hat. In fact, I doff my hat to the Attorney General and his deputy. They do a fine job speaking to the Ghanaian people on every day. The minister speaking to Ghanaians. Look, the surest cure to corruption is sunshine. Why is it that some people don't want us to be told what is going on? We should be left in the dark so that they can go and they say they are persecuting us. We need to know whether they are being persecuted. Why? Ghanaians can't decide when people are being persecuted or being prosecuted. They are trying to prevent prosecution by preventive investigation. If you don't investigate, how do you prosecute? You are still investigating bodies. People are, look, hey, do you know somebody who must be arrested immediately? Atachia. What the hell is he doing trying to stop that other thief? What's his name? The one who is buying houses all over. The signals. Yes. And look at the nonsense Atachia is talking. Look, you see, this country, why are we glorifying thievery? We say we want our loot. Is it not our loot? Is it not our money that we want back? If we don't want our money back, let us tell John Mama, we don't want the money back. Those CSOs, in fact, I think even we should arrest some people for being accomplices after the fact. If there's a thief, you caught him in the marketplace, and the thief is being sent to the police station, and some people are trying to prevent the thief being sent to the police station, and the accomplices. Some of these CSOs, we should look at them. We saw the Nurses and Midwifery Council president trying to go on strike. Not only the husband was the NBB chairman for Botiano, English and Amanfu. We've seen union leaders pretending to be neutrals, trying to go on strike over even appointments and stuff. If the president is not allowed to appoint his people, how is he going to govern? People are trying to truncate the Reset Ghana agenda. The man has not only 4 years old, he has less than 4 years. When are we going to allow him to work? When are we going to collect our loot? When are we going to service our debts? What is going on? Look, Ghanaians, fellow countrymen, the president is the executive president until the constitution is changed. He has even allowed a constitutional review process to happen. He has allowed his powers to be taken away. We said, and you see, I'm digressing a little bit to put things in perspective so that people can understand the full picture of what is going on. It's not just an electricity situation. People, Galamsey didn't start with President Mahama. Yeah? But people are pretending that Galamsey has just started under President Mahama. After when the fires were happening, he allowed his people to say that it was Doomshaw that caused it. Meanwhile, you stole the wires. You stole transformers. You stole everything that can be used to make electricity stable across the country. So he can go and claim credit and tell us that we shouldn't do politics. Look, Galamsey was happening under Akufo-Addo. In fact, Galamsey got its wings under Akufo-Addo because he made a law. You know that law better than me.
246
the number doesn't even matter. The matter is that he wanted the president as him to be given the power to give people licenses to go and mine in our forests and so on. This president has repealed that part which is problematic. Now the people are saying that no. You've cut your head, but you didn't use a sharp knife. You've used a bread knife. No. Even though your head is off, no. cut it again, cut the whole body. Repeal the law. What else is in the law that is more offensive than what has been repealed? So the constitution, for example, assuming that there's a review process, there's a constitutional review process underway, they will bring their report. Okay, it will be then some parts may be done in parliament because the small majority of 2/3 can do that, even if the minority decide not to partake. But there are entrenched clauses that may require a referendum. All right, but some people are saying that we want the constitution taken off. So take off the constitution. Assuming the president has come and said that, oh, the constitution has been abrogated, will we understand? What chaos will be in this country? What will we govern ourselves with? So you start by taking off the bad things.
That will amount to
chaos. That is what people are saying in the what do you call it? The Galansay situation. The man has put in the gold board to make sure that the key thing is that why do people go and mine the gold? Because they want money. It's not the gold they are going to chop. The experts, when they come and take our gold and go and sell. They export the gold. We saw the Al Jazeera report. Nobody is asking for President Akufo-Addo and people who are mentioned in it to be prosecuted. They are rather saying that the gold board is useless. What is the gold board supposed to cure? All transactions in gold must pass through the gold board. They try to use gold for oil to siphon money to the Bank of Ghana. The president said, Bank of Ghana, no way, don't do it anymore. Bank of Ghana says, stopped. So that there's only one place. If there's a problem, we'll catch one person. That's Sami Jammeh. Right? You understand? They did gold for revenue. Look, our reserves. There is, look, this country is in a mess. So the CSOs who are pretending to be doing Ghana a favor by talking plenty, they should go to the heart of the matter and demand the arrest and prosecution of people, and also speak to the lawyers who are trying to suppress and things. National Service, they said there's some MP. They said there's some MP who has been paid to something.
Yeah, to kill the story.
They should be asking for the names. They should be demanding for the names.
Yeah.
They should be, you see, these are what the CSO should be seen to be doing. They should not pretend to be blind. We should be goading on the people who are helping us to claim our things. They should not be helping the thieves.
Necessarily an NDC MP. I mean, this was around the time the story broke last year, when the Eswal administration was still in place.
Listen, I don't care the coloration of anybody who's doing a mess. If an NPP person does a mess, an NDC person does a mess, like we've been told, so NDC MP, I will win MP or whatever, an allegation or a petition has been sent. Speaker of Parliament is trying to have an investigation initiated in the people say, what the speaker, what right has he got to do investigation? What nonsense. He's threatening every MP that anybody who deals in Galansay will not be spared and will be thrown out of his thing. Isn't that positive? Shouldn't we be supporting this? We know the Suhum MP, both those who are in others are still in the chamber. That is why people are saying that he has no business to investigate. He should investigate everybody. He should get Dinapo Abu Dinapo and all those Galansay related people out of the chamber. That is positive. When the president also says that he will not allow any of his appointees to do Galansay or even mining of any sort, he should be applauded and kept to his word, and even extended. Tell all party chairmen, hey, we've heard that from your constituency chairman is stopping listen. Warn everybody in your party. Then you tell who is in charge of the NPP now. I don't even know who. You do know. Tell whoever it is that you too tell your people to stop and let's arrest them. Who to me is still working free. He's still chairman, right? They should be arrested. All the people in the party report, they should be arrested. Why is Gabi walking around? I've seen a picture of him recently with the day to another. You saw that one?
Yeah.
Atachian.
The birthday party yesterday.
They had a birthday party too. Look at what is happening. Look what is going on here. People are having birthday parties. Jesus Christ, what is going on in Ghana? The people are having birthday parties with their money.
They are celebrating their birthday.
Oh, why? Look, people are not being prosecuted. People are having birthday parties. Hey, what is going on? Do we want, look, Charlie, please, I beg, around this table, do we want our money back?
Of course.
So why? Why? What is going on?
I know.
Charlie, oh man, what is happening? So what is happening?
The royal is free.
People are presenting.
We must keep the fire.
The royal is tired now.
No, what? I'm too shocked. Yes. People are enjoying. From their hospital bed, they are ordering. Stop investigating. Take our names off your books.
They are not just enjoying legitimately. They are enjoying illegitimately with our money.
Charlie, look, we should get serious. We should get serious as a people.
Mr. let's hear from you.
The truth of the matter is that my brother Derek cannot be angry at the CSOs because we did not vote for the CSOs. We voted for John Mahama to lead this country and make sure that anybody that has taken our money illegally, he deals with the person. I have said that any appointee that within 2 months you are unable to identify any malfeasance in your office, then you also want to steal from this country. Because
you believe there are malfeasance
everywhere. Even signals are suffering. Signal the bureau is suffering. So where? But you see, I used to say it before the elections that this business of scratch my back, let me scratch your back will kill Ghana. There are actually a group within this administration who were eating when the MPP was in power, and so they can't do anything about it. And that is why you can have a Fenyo who by now must be assisting in investigation because you were the board chair and you are in the known as to what actually happened at the ECG, telling us that we must not politicize it. Who is going to establish a committee involving political parties to look into this? This is a crime. And crime is investigated by the security agencies.
Yeah, that is a crime scene.
You don't determine how matters are investigated. ECG is a complete crime scene.
Big one.
And I can understand the frustrations of Derek J, because the point is that it was corruption that took the MPP out of office. And if the NDC does not take care, the same corruption will take them out. Especially when you are not dealing with clear-cut issues. National service is there for all of us. Let me also say that I also agree with him that the Attorney General, what he has started doing is the right way.
Yeah.
If you are an Attorney General and you want to succeed, you must win the propaganda war.
Yeah.
If you allow the opposition to set the agenda for you, you will always be chasing their tails. So always let your truth come out and you carry the people along. Just last year, PricewaterhouseCoopers did an audit of ECG. And in there, they identified that ECG itself had about 99 bank accounts. They were collecting 15.8 billion, but declaring 10.4 billion to the people of this country. Meaning close to 5.4 billion
was going under the
was unaccounted for.
Yeah.
Even with the 10.4 billion, you know we have what we call the cash waterfall mechanism.
Yeah.
They were only disbursing 6.5 billion out of that 10.4. Nobody knows where the almost 3.9 billion went to. We have kept quiet as a country. And even with the 6.5 billion, interestingly, the company that does the collection, the hotel and its people, they were receiving 402 million, whereas VRE, that generates power, was paid for 412 million. Can you imagine? The company generating the power is receiving a same amount as the company collecting the revenue. Now the company collecting the revenue for ECG actually took more money than we Power Authority. That is the stake or the status of ECG. Now it is also a common practice or is a known fact that ECG, every procurement that takes place there is inflated by 150%. So for instance, water that you buy it at 1 cedi, if ECG is going to buy, they will sell it 2 cedi 50 pesos. That is the ECG for you. Now, if bless you import a car into this country, it means you really need a car. And so before you do the importation, you would have prepared yourself for port duties. How come ECG import cables and they allow it just to sit at the port? The only conclusion that one can draw is that ECG at the time of ordering for these or purchasing these products did not need them. But because people want to take advantage of the country, well, it's through procurement that they make their money anyway. They must buy by all means. So they were buying. They were buying. whether or not they needed it, they had to buy. And it's so sad when you read some of the stories and you look at how people are struggling in this country. I'm telling you today, people cannot meet or have 3 square meals, even 2. It's so difficult. But we entrust our destinies into the hands of people to go and serve us better, and this is the outcome. And that is why I don't take him serious. I don't know who takes him serious. You must understand that we are in a serious democracy. People are thinking about how to go to the moon. We cannot deal with the fundamentals. If we cannot deal with fundamentals like clearing of goods at the port, then what complex situations can you deal with? But now, if we were in a serious country, he would have been hauled before the security agent, together with the former managing director and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
That he resigned on personal reasons. What are you talking about? In your absence, these are the things that are happening. The former board chair, Kalika Debobana, must be answering questions. But it exposes the weakness in this administration. I'm telling you, people seem not to be interested in going after those that have stolen our money. And once you make that determination that you don't want to go for those that have stolen from us, it means you yourself you want to steal. That is the only conclusion. Other than that, clear cut issues.
So obvious.
So obvious.
Yeah.
ECG, so obvious. National service, so obvious. The banking sector cleanup. Look, in the case of the banking sector cleanup, people actually inflated the numbers. Those that did not have savings, investment there, they created pseudo-names and went for money. All these things they know, but people are keeping quiet. You remember the case of Ghana Cylinder Manufacturing? What's the name of that woman? Former MDC woman who crossed carpet. Frances Essiem.
And the guy who died, Sydney Kirsty Hereford.
All these matters are there.
But wait, if a man dies, can his sons be visited?
We can visit you on
his estate.
Yes.
Okay, very well. So Occupy Ghana, please finance you to get Sydney.
That's
the Hereford. He's your colleague.
You see, so it's not as though we don't know what has happened in this country. We all live in this country. And that is why we must not expend all our energy. What has happened at the National Security Bureau is a tip of the iceberg. It's the least of the cases. $7 million. If it was about $7 million, we go and sleep. We are talking about a country where this Nana Akufo-Addo took when he took over the reins of governance, the debt was about 122 billion. It's now hovering around 742 or 49 billion. And we don't have tangibles to show for. We have SkyTrain, $2 million that is right in our faces.
Yeah.
But people are behind the scenes begging. They are using powerful men and women. And that is why any politician that visits churches and mosques, I have an issue. You don't understand me. You see, when you allow people to start praying for you, you are indebted to them. You see them as your God. And the businessmen also use them to achieve their purpose. Because when there is an issue, all that they do is that they go to these pastors and imams.
You may add chieftains.
Chieftains, absolutely. In fact, they are the biggest culprit in this. They will call, oh, he's my son, my this. And you know very well that you went to him during campaign. So how can you refuse his request? And that is why we can't deal with issues of corruption. Either that all the sector, does it not strike you that all the state-owned enterprises are owing?
Yeah, they've made losses, they are indebted.
So why?
Tonatok, buy and sell, cocoa board. Just go and buy cocoa and sell. We are owing 32 billion. Electricity Company of Ghana, we do prepaid. I give my money in advance.
Yeah.
But they will be in debt because people over there have decided deliberately to shortchange this country, and nobody will do them anything. Me, as of now, the way and manner they are going about things, I have no confidence that these people can deal with corruption. Read my lips. A year by now, you will come here and you give me my stone. Take it from me.
That is, if nobody stops the system from working, people ask.
But why must somebody? You say, no, you can disagree. I voted for you to take actions.
Yes. So
as of now, the president, if you read Article 58 or so 57, he is the commander-in-chief, the head of state, and the head of government business. There is no way in the constitution that he shares his power or powers with anybody.
not the CSOs either.
But the CSO,
so can we tell them to stop making? We didn't vote for them.
But who is that CSO to come and speak? They are speaking like you are speaking. Who are they? The CSOs, didn't they speak that Dampare must be at post? Is Dampare there?
No. Do they even have any credibility?
Can you imagine? You call them CSOs? I call them political appendages. They are there to do politics.
They are political appendages. They are.
So why must you give them credit?
Actually, they are.
You understand? So if you are president and you are not performing, it is not because some CSOs are talking. After all, nobody can gag anybody for speaking. All of us are going to speak. But remember, we gave you that mandate. Like we said, people are partying. They are flaunting their wealth in our faces. You have someone who is supposed to come and answer questions, sue the agency that is responsible for doing that. And I agree he will do that, because right in your studio here, when he started that, I told you, when you were on the street, you know that it's a game they are playing with us. Say that, have you heard any matter about Ken Ofurata? He's writing letters to the people of Ghana. But someone just told Plantain, because he was angry in this country, because these people did not manage their resources well. He's in Salom.
A foul.
A foul. Someone took just one roll of herb. He's already in there to release the tensions because of the problems these people have created. He is in Salom. But these people are taking billion. They are now fighting. Now it tells us that the laws of this land only respects
and that's why we must reset the judiciary as well. Because at the end of the day,
but nobody, I don't have any problem if anybody is not behaving well. You understand? So clearly, if there is a political will to deal with this matter, in less than a year, the system will be corrected. I'm telling you. And it is across board. Hey, you go to agri ministry, rot, education, rot. As for education ministry, people are just using money to buy minister buying cars for their girlfriends, Land Cruisers and so on. All these things are there.
So kindly share with us which of the
we have shared everything with them. If I tell you what, I go and change the name. I have shared it with the appropriate security authorities.
Okay, very well.
They know it, but some of them are culpable. The money that you were, when you were in the opposition, you were taking from them. Did you ask them where they were getting it from? That is why you can't act.
Yeah.
Very well.
They can't act. But tell the people of this country, this is your land. You pay taxes. You must begin to push them. Bring out the fire. When you vote for someone, don't sit somewhere and think that the person will do what is right. You must continue with the pace, that pressure that you poured. The energy that you expected in a campaigning for them to come to power, use the same energy to make sure that they do what is right. Other than that, you that is living in Boku, in my village Ambonia, here and there, nobody is thinking about you. They will share all the booties in Accra and build all the nice cities, the nice buildings. And tomorrow they come and tell you, and me are kids, that their parents were smarter than us, because they were able to steal, loot more than you and I. And so the state must act. The ECG, if for nothing at all, there must be a thorough overhaul of that institution. There must be a massive overhaul. Not just there. You go to VRA, you go to Greco, there must be total overhaul of these places. And that is why I disagree with your government when the issue of gold board. The same thing they are creating. Tomorrow, it will come back to hunters. You are telling that the state-owned institutions are incurring debt, yet you are creating more. To come and do what? Hey, Ghana. I see sometimes when I read some of the stories, I get shy. Is it the country I'm coming from? Because it doesn't add up. It does not. Now Chinese, you have arrested Chinese. That they were the ones buying ECG. But now, you think a Ghanaian can go to China and be doing this?
What?
We have an economy that has been taken over by foreigners. Me sitting here, can you imagine? I was looking for a contract in the last administration. An Indian man was the one that wanted to lead me. I looked at it and said, I'm not interested. that I will sit in my own country as a bona fide national of this country, and a foreigner will be the one to lead me to get. I told him that if this is the only money I'll get in my life, I'm not interested. That day I went to say this country is sold. What? This country is sold. Have you asked yourself why Ghanaian businesses do not thrive, but Indian, Chinese, and all those businesses are thriving here? It's a national security concern. If your countrymen and women are not thriving in the business sense, you don't have any country. Now every Ghanaian, most of us are living outside, suburbans, and the city center. Go to Osu in the evenings, and I'm telling you, 8 out of every 10 people you meet are foreigners. Where are the Ghanaians? Which country do you have? And that is why you must be serious with dealing with issues of corruption, so that we can redistribute the wealth of this country to benefit the Ghanaian people. Not for the few. Not for the few rich. You know, and the reason why some of us also disagree with Speaker that he must not be entertaining in some of these galamsey things is that recently parliamentarians went and destroyed tables and chairs. Well, you know, in this country, well, did not set up a committee. What has been the outcome of that committee? Even your nose, your right, what you watch on TV, you cannot bring a report to punish people. How much more galamsey? When you do that, that means you want to sit on it. And we are not going to allow anybody. Look.
Please remind us, was Afinio part of that thing?
He was part of it.
How did it end?
Anyway.
No. You remember they stampeded the process, they boycotted the process, and then they distracted the process.
Yes, but at the end of the day, you have majority in parliament.
And I'm saying that that's exactly the same thing Afinio is doing with this matter.
But why must you allow Afinio? Why would you?
Afinio must be arrested. Look, Ghanaians.
But you see, now you cannot be speaking like me in opposition. Now you have the power. It is no more like speaking like an opposition. Now you must act. Between me and Doc, we can say must be arrested, but you that is in power must say we have arrested.
Yeah, but at least he agrees that. I mean,
I know he would have. Yeah. I know, you know the reason why I'm saying that, because he did not go for monies from them in opposition. But the problem is that those that are supposed to act, their hands are not clean.
Yeah.
So you can cry all night, nothing will happen. As we speak, they are even doing business with them. From God, they are doing business with those that you think that they are pursuing. We are doing business with them. And so, my dear Ghanaians, fellow Ghanaians, begin to act. Get the person that you voted for to be acting on your stead. That you voted, you know, the president has given 3 speeches. The inaugural speech. The only thing that attracted applause was when he spoke about accountability. At the State of the Nation, when he spoke about accountability, he received the applause. At the Economic Dialogue, when he spoke about accountability, he received the applause. Yeah. What it means is that the Ghanaian feels we have been shortchanged. Go for our money for it. For me, I'm not interested in putting people in jail or whatever. Go and take our money.
The money, recover the loot.
Right.
Thank you so much, Mr. Solomon. So I read a few messages, then I come to Dr. Marzouk. Bless, Ghanaians are suffering from the mess the MPP created, brought onto us. The AG is too slow for my liking in handling the oral cases. AG, wake up. Stephen from Kwabinya. Thank you, Stephen, for your message. The former president, Akufo-Addo, must be arrested immediately. How can he watch over his people to loot this country for 8 good years? Okay, you didn't tell me your name and where you sent your message from. Good morning. In fact, your panelist Prince is speaking the facts of the loot of the MPP. My BP is very high. The country is damaged too much. A thief having rights has to be tried. Ghana, if JM feels as the last option is evident. Francis Javier from Laura. Thank you, Francis. Baraka de Sanla to the red-capped Dr. Marzouk. Hey, but has the Prince of La converted into Islam now? This wonderful Salah energy past Solomon's movement. All right, thank you very much for your message. This one here says, my name is Senior Aztec, Senior Sonny Rocky. I see you. Emmanuel Hammond says, God bless you, Solo. Samson Amakun says, say it all, Solo. Well done. Raymond Aglago says, Solo, I agree with you 100% because President Mahama and appointees can never do anything about corruption. Bless Dua says, watching people live from Takrade. Thank you, Bless. Elder Joshua Kote is doing the watching as well. Florence Nunu says, fire on PDA. Patrick Inketia says, good morning. Shama Ba Edina Benga say, ish. So when are we going to smile with our wives? Okay. This one here says, my name is Oyibo Boateng from Ichuma Nerebehi, member Ashanti Region NPP Media Patriots. Happy Eid Mubarak to all Muslims. Greetings to Osu Bempa, incoming NPP chairman in Shayesu constituency.
Who is that? Osu Bempa. I hope it's always
right. This one, Kofi Salom says, Solo, you have made my day. Okay. Honorable Timothy Awonterim is doing the watching and extends his love. It says, blessed. It says, Eid Mubarak to your panelists. Alhaji Marzuk, happy Eid. Blessed. Do you really believe state enterprises are making losses? Recent discoveries show that state enterprises are making profits, and only that these profits are actually criminally spent by appointees of the Nanado administration. Example, if Kwabena Edu alone can steal so much from NSB, do you think that if NSB were making losses, Edu Boahen could get such an amount to steal? Okay, thank you very much. Let me now come to Dr. Marzuk on this burning issue.
Good morning to the cherished viewers. Thanks for the opportunity. Before I proceed, let me wish all Muslims a happy Eid al-Fitr. عيد مبارك كل عام وأنتم بخير نسأله المولى أن يوفقنا وأن يتقبل دعاءنا آمين. I also wish the Vice President a speedy recovery. May Allah grant her shifa and return her to Ghana to continue service to nation. Thank you. Blessed. If you do critical analysis of this issue, this open thievery, you will agree with me that from the board to management of ECG, none of them can escape the following: 1, irresponsibility; 2, incompetency; and 3, complicity. If they have not been able to prevent the crime but have not benefited from the crime, that becomes incompetency. If they have not benefited from the crime but have not been able to put in place measures to check the crime, that becomes irresponsibility. And if they have benefited from the crime and have allowed the crime to exist or to occur, that is complete complicity. And for that reason, they must be held responsible. That they must be held responsible. All of them must have a question to answer. And therefore, it is up to the Attorney General. When you even commend the Attorney General for updating, I won't be charitable to him. I will not commend him just because I see whatever he's doing as the trial of cases in the court of public opinion. I want him to go to court. The criminality must be tried in a court of competent jurisdiction. We are not interested in the trial in the court of public opinion. We are not interested in that. I'm telling you, I won't commend him for whatever he's doing.
Trials, updates.
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying that whatever he does, in my estimation, amounts to the trial in the court of public.
You don't want to know what's going on.
He should go to court. He should tell us that he's doing it in court. We want him to try the cases in court.
In whose court?
In the court of public jurisdiction. In the court of competent jurisdiction.
Headed by who?
Get Ritokono's court.
Oh, I haven't mentioned a name.
The courts belong to the Republic of Ghana. Just a quick one.
No. I will allow the public tribunals.
I won't allow.
No,
so let me go.
Yeah.
Are you the host? You can hijack his position, but you cannot hijack my opinion. You understand that? Yes. So my brother, look, you are talking about public tribunal. The public tribunal must be in place now to try the cases. That's exactly what I'm talking about.
Thank you.
It is not enough to come and tell me that you have arrested this person or you have discovered this crime. Look, go tell me that and go to court to prosecute the crime. All of us here agreed that the loot must be retrieved.
Yeah.
And also the oral got our approval.
Yeah.
We even went further to contextually justify it. In a sense, to dismantle the argument that it was meant for witch hunting.
Yes.
We did that. So why? And I agree with Solo. Solo, in fact, I admire your bravery. Your bravery to tell this government to be serious. Even though it is too early, yet the signs are clear that it might not do much.
How many days?
And also optimistic.
I'm telling you, it's not optimistic.
How many days in office?
I'm saying that the time is clear. You don't.
How many days? Just give us. It's not even up to the 120 days. It's not up to 90 days.
You reserve that when it is your time. Then you can.
Aren't you rushing the president?
But you see, this government must do everything possible.
But be fair to John.
I'm very fair to John. I have always, and any time I criticize the government, I call for public solidarity.
How long does the John?
So I'm addressing you. I'm not addressing you. So all I am saying is that the government must do everything possible to retrieve the loot. Look, we are still within the context of rhetorics. We are no longer interested in the rhetorics. We are now demanding pragmatics. From rhetorics to pragmatics, that's what we want. Sometimes when some of the appointees are speaking, it looks as if they are still campaigning. No, don't campaign. Do the work. We've given you the mandate. And let me.
You have power.
Yes, you have the power. And let me tell you, look, you know what happened? You know, the total rejection of the corrupt MPP government, right? What will follow it will be worse than that. I'm telling you. Perhaps they had the opportunity to be booted out in a democratic election. Perhaps. La samahullah, may God forbid. Anybody who misbehaves after them may not even have the opportunity to be booted in a democratic election. That should not happen. But I'm telling you, these people must be arrested, they must be investigated, they must be arraigned, they must be tried, and if they are found guilty, they must be punished, and our monies should be retrieved from them. That's exactly what I am.
What period should the trials?
So as I am addressing you and ignoring any, as I am addressing you and ignoring any unnecessary interjection. Yes. Now I'm addressing you. As I am addressing you and ignoring any unnecessary interjection, I add that the tribunals and the speedy trial of the cases should be actualized.
Yes.
Thank you very much. You've addressed the issue.
very actualized. You understand that? I mean, we should be serious. I'm telling you. Look, it takes a little time for a person to lose confidence in another person. And I strongly believe that this regime is still enjoying public solidarity, the goodwill,
and inertia.
Yes, and then so the inertia should not take away the goodwill. I'm telling you, they must act. I know that yes, it is said that justice delete, justice denied, and I also know that justice rushed, justice aborted. But I'm telling you that the signs must be clear. How can somebody, even if you look at the pattern of arrest, it looks as if those who are supposed to be arrested themselves are left out. The pattern of arrest, it looks as if if you cannot, if you do not have, it looks as if you are not so powerful, then they come for you. If you are so powerful, then they allow you. And that is how they have allowed some people to insult us, go out of the boundaries of this country, and continue to insult us through letters. I think that should not happen. I'm telling you. And we should not look. We didn't fight the corruption because we didn't like NPP. We fought the corruption because we love Ghana. Not that we loved NPP less, but that we love Ghana more.
Yeah.
So we are not here. We are not here to do the bidding of anybody. We are here to do the bidding of the Republic of Ghana. We have given you the mandate. Act. If you refuse to act, it's just a matter of time. And when the time comes, we will speak in line with your action.
When John Mahama starts acting,
and when you act well, we will support you. If you don't act well, we will expose you. And that's exactly why we are independent minded. You know, it is very good to be independent minded. Very good to be independent minded. People should not see us as those speaking for the regime. No, we are not speaking for the regime. We speak for the Republic of Ghana. If the regime does anything right, we will commend the regime. If it does anything wrong, we will condemn, so that we have commendation for the right thing and condemnation for the wrong thing. And that's exactly what we are saying. We have so far seen that the signs are clear that much cannot be done, and we want the much to be done. We want the march to be done. And that is why we are saying that anything that should be done to actualize the massive prosecution that will lead to the retrieval of the loot should be done now or never. If it is done now, success is for NDC. If it is done, if it is never done, the rest, I leave it to the conscience of good people. Thank you.
Right, thank you. There's an Eid message from Professor Nana Jenobuku-Agyeman, her official. I've cited that on her official Facebook handle. Eid Mubarak to our Muslim community. On this blessed occasion, I extend my warmest wishes to you and your families. Your dedication, values, and contributions enrich our nation and the world. May this celebration bring you joy, peace, and renewed strength. Likewise, I would like to say thank you to everyone for the kind sentiments and well wishes this weekend. Professor Nana Jenobuku-Agyeman, Vice President, Republic of Ghana. Right. Yeah. So we have our final topic for conversation, and it's a very interesting one. The topic is petitions for removal of Chief Justice, part of plot to oust EC chair. This coming from the Director of Communications for the New Patriotic Party.
What is the relationship?
Richard
What's the relationship between the two?
That's a point.
What's the point?
When dry bones are mentioned, I mean that's the point. Okay, but before we proceed on that, Honorable Timothy Awontorim is asking Dr. Mazduk some questions. He's asking if the Attorney General has said he isn't going to prosecute the cases he briefed Ghanaians on.
He wants him to see.
So he said the NSB, the NSS, SkyTrain, the AG will only prosecute when he has watertight evidence. Experience have shown that when a prosecutor rushes,
when he doesn't have watertight evidence, he shouldn't come and bombard us.
Experience have shown that when a prosecutor rushes to court, he meets his Waterloo, trusts Dr. Akutinga Ayeni and Shrimsai, and prosecutes to the administration. They prosecute to the admiration of Ghanaians. Remember, we are just 3 months.
Yeah, you give him position and go and give it to him.
So let me. He has asked me a question. Let me answer him. Honorable. Anyway, Barka da Sallah.
I thought you said focused.
Anyway, Barka da Sallah. Honorable. All I am saying is that if by your own estimation he doesn't have enough evidence, he shouldn't come and bombard us. He shouldn't come and disturb our peace. We want him to gather the evidence now. We want him to go to court.
The watertight evidence.
Yes, he should have it now. If he doesn't have it,
Just give me a sample.
We want action. We are no longer in the era of rhetoric. We want action. He should go to court. The few ones he has arrested should be sent to court. That's exactly what we are saying.
When the matter goes to court and becomes subject, you cannot talk about it. So he says, give me a preview. Oh, Charlie. How
many times don't we see lawyers? How many times don't we see lawyers speaking after trial?
These are they are going to do a very exceptional job.
I understand,
but the courts must be ready for the flood of cases.
I am not a lawyer.
When the floodgates open, you know the number of things written out there to prosecute. The queue is long.
Look, I'm not a lawyer, but I know very well. I know the subject.
Yes,
I know it very well. You know why?
Yeah.
I have covered your former president.
When you say president,
your former president, your friend, Nana Akufo-Addo. When he was defending, he's a former president of Ghana. When he was defending the free press, in Rawlings regime, as a lawyer. Yes. I have been a court reporter for more than 10 years. I understand all these things.
Yes.
I understand what can be discussed even when the trial is going on and what cannot be discussed. I understand that. So my brother, all I am saying is that look, it is not for Dr. Ayine, whom I respect very well, to come and bombard me with stories about who has done
what. The system.
We want him. If he doesn't have enough evidence, he shouldn't come and disturb our ears. He should get enough evidence, proceed to court, and get the trial. That's exactly what we are saying.
We are also hearing that the vice president is
I miss you so much. Yes.
We understand she's better now following her
you know why I find it very difficult commenting about people's health and so on and so forth. I mean, she knows how she's feeling. And it is very normal for everyone to say, me, when someone dies, it's normal for me, because the day you were born, you know the next thing that will happen to his death.
And the
next milestone is
the only uncontested truth is death.
Absolutely,
because everybody will die. So if you deny it, you will die. So what is this business?
Death is more eternal.
Who doesn't know?
Hello. Can we de-emphasize death at this stage?
Yes.
And deal with the next topic.
So the next topic and deal with health. Is good. Let's deal with getting back the
exactly.
We should deal. So tell Ayine to stop bombarding us.
The press conference will happen.
You should go to swallow.
So don't worry, and the tribunals will come.
Yes, right.
So do it now. To complement the courts.
They are not giving you position. So how do you
at exactly 10 a.m. we'll be carrying the Eid al-Fitr celebration. It will be taking place at the Black Star Square. Of course, President of the country, John Dramani Mahama, would be there. Right. Let's proceed to our next topic for conversation. The Chief Justice, Justice Gertrude Araba Isaba Tokono. She has been in the news for quite some time now. The President has consulted the Council of State relative to some petitions that has been made to him to remove the Chief Justice from office. The Chief Justice requested that she is furnished with the details of the petition. I don't know if it will be made available to her, but the Director of Communications for the New Patriotic Party is saying that this forms a grand plot to also oust the EC chairperson, or the chairperson of the Electoral Commission, Madam Jane Mensah. I'm starting with Solomon Owusu on this matter. We've seen what's transpired, especially in the tail end of the SWAL NPP administration. As far as the court is concerned, we already mentioned Apenyo Makin rushing to court in the matters of some members of parliament who cross-carpeted, and the speaker found it expedient to take them out of parliament. We saw the rush and the push-up of the Attorney General. I mean, we also saw some of the comments in other cases that were sent to the Supreme Court. If you were the president, would you keep the Chief Justice at post? If in your position, if you are the president, would you keep the Chief Justice at post?
So first of all, it doesn't lie with the president to say, bless, I like you or I don't like you. It's a constitutional provision. So the
Solo, Mr. Usu, I mean, when we're discussing the earlier topics,
yes, so I'm coming.
we know that at the end of the day,
yes,
that ultimate decision lies with the president.
No, but you see,
we can have what the Constitution says, but there's still a way that.
No, but you see,
respects the Constitution.
Well,
so the Constitution has to be respected.
Well,
he is the president because the Constitution says so. Now the Constitution has spelled out how you deal with such matters.
Right.
When you receive a petition, then you forward it to the Council of State. Then in consultation with the Council of State, it means the president at that level. That's why your point also is legitimate. He, together with the Council of State, would have to determine that there is a prima facie case before a committee is set up. And that is why I find it very difficult to understand the Chief Justice at this material time, that someone petitions and you say the petition has to be given to you. There is no way you can be removed from your office without being heard. Are you with me? So yes, I have given an information to the president. The president forwards it to the Council of State. They look at it and say, then there is a question to answer. Let's form a committee to go into the matter. At that material time that the committee is formed, the petition will be made available to the Chief Justice to respond. And that's why carefully, if you look at the way and manner the Constitution has described how it's supposed to be done, it's a 5-member committee. Of the 5-member committee, 2 of them should be judges of the Superior Court, as the Supreme Court, and the remaining 3, the framers of the Constitution, they are very smart and very wise. They say the remaining 3 must not be lawyers. You know why? Because if you are a Chief Justice, the likelihood of any lawyer coming before you or having come before you is so high. They don't want any conflict of interest. Neither must the person be a member of Parliament, because Chief Justices are approved by parliamentarians. So there too you could have that rapport. Nor a member of Council of State. Remember, before any Chief Justice is nominated, the president does so in consultation with the Council of State. So that it becomes ordinary people that the Chief Justice had never met us before. So that you, the Chief Justice, and the petitioner, both of you will receive fair hearing. So she must go through it. And mind you, all those who are occupying positions, they must understand that there is a day of accountability, and that anybody can petition for your actions and inactions. We have also been told that the Chief Justice can be removed based on incompetence or what? Misbehavior. Stated misbehavior. So the person that has petitioned has an onerous task of proving that stated misbehavior or misconduct. But it's the way and manner people are behaving, particularly my brothers from the MPP, they are worsening the case of the Chief Justice. What is the business of Asifwa rushing to court? When you do that, then you lend credence to the fact that, hey, is this woman there serving the interest of the MPP?
The former Attorney General.
The former Attorney General. Yeah. Now, Richard Hiagba, you also, the second that he doesn't know the gravity, the enormity of it. Remember how Charlotte Osei was removed. And the reason why he is bringing the Chief Justice that when a petition is sent for the removal of the EC boss, it is given forwarded to the Chief Justice. You understand? So that it is the Chief Justice that has to determine a prima facie case before a committee is set.
So a new Chief Justice would now determine that.
So that's it. So is he saying, is Anyagba saying that on the removal of Charlotte Osei, the administration did it in connivance with Chief Justice Sofia Akufu. Is that what Ahemba is saying? And remember, Chief Justice Sofia Akufu is also a member of the Council of State now.
Yeah.
She is going to be part of those that will determine whether or not there's a prima facie case.
She's a chairman.
No, in your bid as a political commentator to bastardize a certain action, you must be very careful not to go and innocently attack someone sitting her somewhere and doing her job. You understand? Serious matters has been raised. You remember the Professor Kwaku Asari's issue, where he made the point that the 5 appeals court judges that the Chief Justice wanted them to be nominated to the Supreme Court, she never consulted the Judicial Council, which is a legal requirement. Is it true? As I'm sitting here, I have no clue whether or not that was the case. We have been told now that there has been some funds that have been expended on travels here and there, according to some audit, which I have cited a portion of it, and I mean, I have not seen the entire document, so I'm unable to comment extensively on it. But was it the case? All these things, the Chief Justice will have the opportunity. I will be the last person to support any attempt to remove anybody unjustifiably. But if she has done something untoward, she has no business being at post. She's not above the law. Is the Chief Justice above the law?
No.
All of us are equal before the law. Yes. And if you don't fit to be there, why must you be there? You all know what has happened in the past. And that reminds me, you said Godfrey Damian has also gone to court. You see, in this country, we don't know shame. Attorney General that was busily negotiating for someone to be imprisoned. Hey! Why would they profit you when you see your fellow human being who has not committed any crime in trouble?
And the General Legal Counsel is there.
Is there? You see, this country, we have destroyed all fathers or sides of our moral being.
And conscience.
Conscience. You just recently, even that matter, if you are, this Attorney General is serious, he must charge Godfrey Damian for willfully causing financial loss to the state. Because when he was prosecuting Japa and Co., at a point, the company said they were willing to pay 2 million euro. Do you remember? He rejected it.
Yeah.
The company said, well, we brought you the ambulances. We want to do more businesses with Ghana. If for any reason you think that the ambulances that we brought are not fit for purpose, though we believe they were fit for purpose, come and take 2 million euro. You refuse. So between you and Japan.
So in that sense, even for the recovery,
yes,
even if there was some loot,
yes,
when he had the opportunity to recover that loot,
he refused. So who has willfully caused financial loss to the state?
Yeah.
Is it not he?
Yeah.
And you call him someone that is having this country patriotic, having this country attacked?
At the timing of the trial, it came on the heels of the e-levy passage.
Yes.
Statements made by Kesel against the e-levy.
You understand?
Yeah.
And
so they use positions to persecute. So me, I am for it. The president has done what is right. I believe that in this country, maybe we must begin to write our constitution in our local language so that all of us will understand. Because one constitution very clear. If you read Article 1466, you see, where the petition is for the removal of the Chief Justice, the President shall, acting in consultation with the Council of State, appoint a committee consisting of 2 justices of the Supreme Court. Well, there is nowhere that is stated here that where the petition is given to the President must wait for you to respond before he or she consults the Council of State. And yet, you have lawyers who are coming with wild theories.
You see,
they are confusing everybody in the system.
Everybody, yes.
So, it is in right order. In the same way, I can also petition that the president must be removed for stated misconduct. We must promote some of these things.
Yeah.
And that is the
was Trump not impeached when he was the president?
Yeah. That should further entrench our democracy.
Yeah.
That is it.
Right. Thank you very much, Mr. Owusu. Dr. Marzuk, let's hear from you, sir.
Yes, I strongly believe that the culture of constitutionalism must be respected. And it is important for all of us to view what is happening from the lenses of patriotism. Yes. Just as Solo has rightly said, no one is above the law, not even the president who has been chosen. Not the president. No one is above the law. The fact that you are the Chief Justice only gives you the opportunity to preside over criminal justice and civil law application in this country. But it does not, or administration of justice, it does not make you superhuman. So if some people have reasons to believe that you should be removed, the best we can do is to allow the due process to take place. But let me also warn that in the application of the due process, let's remain nationalistic. Let's not remain partisan. Let's not be partisan. Let's not be vindictive. We should allow the due process to be conducted within the context of civility, rationality, legality, and decency. If we go overboard and we try to look at it from partisan lenses, from both, and this piece of advice must go to both NDC and PP, who are enjoying duopoly in a nation of pluralism. They should understand the comment coming from the NDC should not suggest that it is vindictive. And those who are bitter, those who think that removal of the Chief Justice will pave the way for their crimes to be exposed, should also be very careful in their comments. Because when they are commenting, they should know that this is Ghana. This is not any party. This is not an issue of any party. This is an issue of Ghana. They should know that. So I think it is important for all of us to understand that. And at the end of the day, if the petition succeeds, it will entrench democratic culture. Sure. If it doesn't exist, it will also entrench democratic culture. At least we would have had the president in the Fourth Republic. But then people are even speaking as if it has never happened. It has happened before. Justice Serakosa. Yes, yeah. He was removed from office.
1963.
Yes, 1963. He was removed from office. So it has never happened. It has a precedent. But in the Fourth Republic, it hasn't. This is the first time such a process is being activated. The first time that we were supposed to have it was in the previous regime. But then the president, at the end of the day, concluded that it lacked merit. It didn't have sufficient evidence to
which one are you referring
to operationalize
against
Justice Gertrude Toku.
Yes, the same person.
And Akufo-Addo.
Yeah, and Akufo-Addo.
There have been at least 5 petitions.
Yes, so that's what I'm saying. That was.
Now you petitioned for the removal of the EC chair.
The EC chair and the Chief Justice.
Massa, you are going to speak last.
No.
Hey, you know I'm good at it.
I just wanted clarity because it's under the present administration. So I was wondering whether you referred to my 2 petitions, one against the EC chair and then another against Sofa Akufo.
No.
Akufo-Addo. That's why clarification, which he brought to them.
So you are begging me not
and
to.
And there was one against Georgina Wood and Professor Mills. So that's that. I just wanted clarity. So that's why.
So no interjection.
No.
So I shouldn't also retaliate.
Not at all. Yes, not at all. Proceed, please.
All right. Because it's a royal, you know.
Yes,
I am
today La is cool. Let's reset La. We'll reset La. So no worries.
Today we are all celebrating.
Yes, you see.
There's in the mood of celebration.
Even Sanla ends in La.
So at the end of the day, people should not think that this is witch hunting. In fact, what is more annoying in this country, that anything that is supposed to be in the interest of the state is yes, witch hunting. Why? If the corruption is not witch hunting, why fighting the corruption is witch hunting? If malfeasance, judicial malfeasance, is not witch hunting, why any attempt to free our judiciary from any form of malfeasance become an act of witch hunting? Why? That should not happen. So please, this is not a matter of witch hunting. this is supposed to be done in the supreme interest of the state. And as I said, let everybody stand for justice in the application of these processes. And at the end of the day, it will be the victory of the Republic of Ghana.
Right. I'll do a few messages once again before I come to Mr. Prince Derek J. Maniaka says, good morning. Which court should he go to? Unanimous FC? Kojo Fiagbe says, Solomon Owusu is just a good communicator. Seidu Isaka says, CJ must go. Maybe or maybe not, President Mahama and his people were too slow because of the CJ. After the removal of the CJ, things will change. Francis Adalate says, Eid Mubarak to all our Muslim friends and families. Allah richly bless you during the festivities. Kaidebi Steve says, AG is too slow for our liking. I think I've already done that. Seidu Isaka says, Eid Mubarak to all of you. Thank you, Seidu Isaka. Good morning, bless. I think we should hasten slowly. We must not decide for the Attorney General. The judicial system was corrupted under the previous regime, so the judicial system must be cleaned before the Attorney General can receive positive results in the court. I believe the Attorney General must act meticulously. Fine man. Tamale. Thank you. Fine man.
Fine man. How long do you want it? Fine man. Sea
breaker from Sea breaker. This is your name. Mr. Also, I need your contact. Your programs are always good for me. Okay, thank you. He said you. Al-Kebulan Ubuntu. Good morning. I remember telling a friend in 2016 that the mandate voted for is a direct fruit of neocolonialism, and that we were going to feel what Sajifo Kwame Nkrumah saw during his fight to chase the invaders away. As for the NDC and corruption cases, why the rush from your panelists? How many months has the NDC spent in power? And if the cases are sent to court now, who is going to choose the judges? The same CJ who is openly colored? Allow the NDC to move their pawns how they wish. So we Ghanaians have given them a democratic coup to do that necessary.
You have already
by the
concluded
end of their third year, nothing concrete is realized. The CBP would come back that same way it was removed from power. Okay,
so bless. You see, if they speak this way, they are implying that the CJ, no matter the process, will be removed, and that is dangerous. Well, they should not rush that.
Well, so look, is a patriotic citizen, Francis from Javier. I mean, I know I'm not supposed to express an opinion. I'm not supposed to express opinion.
No, you don't have to. You can express your opinion, but that opinion should be objective.
It will be hard. It will be very difficult if the Chief Justice. It will be very difficult to see her stay. I don't see.
Allow the process to say so.
The process will say so.
Yes. I mean, allow the process to say so.
The process. I mean, for when the NDC was in opposition, this is somebody like the top 3 leaders of government institutions in Ghana. I mean, CJ was about number 1, number 2. CJ and then the Electoral Commission. And these people came at them. I don't see how the NDC would want to maintain these people in power. We can talk about the constitution.
Not in a state of vindictiveness.
Fine. We can talk about the constitution and what it permits and what it does not permit. Yeah. Dr. Marzouk, I don't see it happening.
No, I'm saying
I don't see it happening.
Look, I'm
trying to get a video of the Chief Justice's her demeanor to the president mentioning her name at a function.
So let the process deal with her.
It will deal with
not your sentiments. That's exactly what I said. Your sentiments cannot deal with her. Let the process deal with her.
See this.
I've seen it.
You haven't seen it.
You still want me to see it.
You should see it.
You still want me to see it.
It's my time you used to see, so you see it.
Already they have personal scores to settle.
So can you show this video on your screen? I think viewers want to see the video. You two are.
But let me tell you something. President Mahama is so patriotic, so gentle, so tolerant that he will not allow sentiments to dictate his action.
Well,
that's why I want you to allow the process to take her
Dr. Marzouk
out, not your sentiments.
You have experienced democracy more than I, of course, because you are older than I am.
Yeah.
The end game of this is that the CJ will be removed. We can give it all the override embellishments and talk about the constitution and what it permits and what the due processes. The CJ will be removed.
There is no denying fact that
it will be removed.
The person that petition wants the CJ to be removed.
Yes.
So you are not
the people, not person actually people.
Petitions.
Making it for.
But what I agree with what Doc is saying.
There's a reaction.
Listen. So you have to agree.
The process, yes, it is there. It's for formality's sake.
You see, I don't
the end goal of the.
Are you telling me that John, you have had discussion with John of State and the John?
That's why I said the override embellishment.
You see, I don't want to think that.
We are here to crucify.
You are using my time.
Yes, because you were using my time. I don't want people to think that we are here to crucify anybody. We are not here to crucify anybody. And we have made it clear. We have seen evidence. We have seen sentiment. Let the process work.
Right. Let me come to Mr. Prince Derek Ajay. We take the final bite.
Now take it.
We take the final bite.
And be snappy. If not, I will leave you.
Okay. First, my shall I say, I'll make my brief biases known.
Yes.
And also I have a few Article 146 petitions under my belt.
You have 6 hours, 6 minutes.
6 hours, thank you.
6 hours.
You said 6 hours.
Yes. I give you 6 hours.
Very well. Now, and they were not frivolous. They were neither vexatious. They were not capricious. Yet whimsical. Thank you. Yet the most recent ones were not acted upon by President Akufo-Addo, which was in breach of the constitution, which constituted high crime for which he could have been removed from office, which I hold the CSOs, particularly Occupy Ghana, responsible for. Lawyer Esan Kuma, lawyer Yaopon, who he put at the law school, who happens to be his family member and key person in a certain ring, and I'll expose it one day. And Kofi Benson and others who recently rushed to try and stop some processes. Of course, Samson Ladi is part of that because his program was used to propagate the conveyor belt theory and the postal address, and the fact that presidents in Article 146 petitions do not have the luxury of doing anything but to just convey. In fact, Kweku Baako even was on that program once to confirm the fact that he had seen the petition that had been given to the president as having been received, yet they refused to take it up. I want to see if they will have they'll move out of their hypocrisy now that it is affecting one that quote unquote they call their own. President Akufo-Addo is believed to have packed the courts. So if it is not wrong, assuming it is not, or assuming even if it is, who has a problem with unpacking a packed court? I'm not saying that's what's happening, but those who are critics claim that it's partisan or it's an effort to remove people who are perceived to be whatever, and so there's an unpacking of the court. So be it. The president has received not just one petition, several petitions, and he has acted as a conveyor belt as per the law. And I think that the law is very clear. We saw what John Mahama did before when he received a petition for the removal of Loretta Lamke as Shraj boss. In fact, that was one of the first that were seen in this country, and therefore the equation of Shraj to the status of a judge of the superior courts as per the constitution, because it was not specifically named as Shraj, which was extrapolated in the case of Charlotte Osei when her removal was due, because there's no space for EC chair, and so the same principle was used. I think that it's important that we have these baselines clear. We've recently seen also some attempt to have Justice Pauman and other people on the Supreme Court removed Is it therefore in the view of Richard Anyagba that they, the MPP, are trying to also unblock some people from the Supreme Court? Assuming that his logic is right. Because people know that there will be 2 Supreme Court justices who will have to necessarily be appointed in consultation with the Council of State to hear the case of the Chief Justice. Talking. So they want to remove those they perceive not to be favorably disposed to the side that may want her out. So if there are, let's say, 20, then they will have to, people tainted. So, you have a case, so recuse yourself. You recuse yourself. Or they are going to do everybody so that there will be no Supreme Court judge left to sit as one of the 2. These are all possibilities, and since they've introduced that angle, we need to look at it clearly. Fortunately for Justice Pwamang, the gentleman who did the Article 146 petition, the capacity that he claimed to have come from, the people who he claimed to represent, have come out to say that he doesn't represent them. So I believe that in itself perhaps should be enough justification for it being thrown out. But be that as it may, the president is still a conveyor belt. In the case of Akufo-Addo, when he received some petition from dead people, ghost names, he perfected that fake petition so that he can have Charlotte Asai removed. We heard his press secretary come on the media giving blow-by-blow accounts even when it wasn't necessary. They did what they wanted to do. They had actually pursued a woman. They had set the agenda. It had been clear from day one they wanted to get her out. And they did. In fact, in the case of Loretta Lamptey, it was the MPP that hounded her, yet President John Mahama did not shield her. President John Mahama, over time, has proven to be one who wants to make a mark for himself above the bar. In fact, my 2 petitions under Akufo-Addo, the first one was against Sofa Akufo. He never acted on it. It was to do with land that she paid, in cantonments that she paid 7,000 Ghana cedis for. 7,000 Ghana cedis for land in cantonments.
Come again, hold on.
7,000.
You never heard
7,000
cantonment
Ghana cedis.
What is the size of the land?
Even if it was 1 plot.
No, I mean, I want to 0.01 acre.
Look, the particulars of that particular Article 146 petition had an appendix which included the names of hundreds of such beneficiaries, people who are supposed to be before the petition cover all loot. You see the names in it. Everybody was in there. Now, everybody was there with the amounts of land that each of them took, the amounts that they paid, the ridiculous amounts that they paid.
Make that document available to me.
I added it as an appendix because I wanted it to be a public document. It's being served on that special prosecutor, etc. I'll give you a copy. I know you would act on it. In fact, I'll give you. Lawyer Sam Okujeto, who was then the chairman of the Council of State Petitions Committee, deliberately refused and dodged us for years when we requested to know just the status of that case, whether the president has indeed forwarded it to the Council of State as required, until Justice of Akufo's 70th birthday when she retired. Then he sent us a letter that it is now moot. That is how Justice Sam Okujeto, who was once president of the bar, acted in response to an Article 146 petition when he had opportunity. Be that as it may. Then the EC chair. Now, please, you need to give us this Salah. Give us a little extra time. There's nothing happening. Salah, give us a little extra time. And I'm in my Salah regalia, so give us a little time. We're going to the Independence Square.
But they can take us off.
No, they can't. No, Charlie, Your Excellency, please don't. Now, you see, in the case of Jane Adukwe Mensah, the stated misbehavior included the SAL issue, which has been a recurring, statement in each of them.
That was a grave matter.
Yes. So if anybody tells us that the petition that we sent had no merit, and therefore President Akufo-Addo decided not to act on it, SAL is of no merit, then there was stated bias, including the fact that even her deputy, Bosman, said one of the political parties was an essential threat to the democracy of Ghana, and yet he stayed there. And we all know that 2 of the deputies are indeed patrons of the TESCON, that's the NPP students union. Then there was security breaches, the election security, where people were killed. These were part of the issues. I'm sure you remember HEADMAN and so on. and they are part of new petitions that have come. So it means that it's a recurrent issue. Then there are procurement breaches. Procurement breaches were cited for the removal of her predecessor, that's Charlotte Osei. If it was good enough to remove one, why would this and many others not be enough to remove Jane? But she was kept there because we all know why she was kept there, and she's still being kept there. So fast forward, if some people bring petitions, and in fact this petition is still pending because it's not been acted upon, and the presidency is a continuum. If we just put a cover letter and send to the president, he should act on it. Does that make a partisan? Because he came in Akufo-Addo's time, he decided to breach the constitution, he decided to commit high treason, and then his friends in Occupy Ghana refused to act on it. Now, I'll take you back a little bit to the first petition that I supported to bring to the fore. That happened under President John Evans Atta Mills. It was against Justice Georgina Dura-Wood. It was to do with the International Student Hostel. She confessed that she bought her Akwetiman land in exchange for the plush airport residential area land, which was for foreign affairs.
Yeah.
Which was, in fact, the International Student Hostel holds a key symbolic value to Africa, not just Ghana. That is where most of African leaders were trained to go and get their independence for their countries. And this land, Akufo-Addo got a call. Gabi came to tell us that he got a call. He refused it because he said it was immoral. Georgina Wood confirmed that she also got a call. So somebody was somewhere calling people, come and collect land. Come and collect land. Land! My land! My grandfather gave the land for the development of Ghana. Not for people to come and collect. And I will not sit here and allow my chiefs also to engage in similar thievery. And so I'm saying we will resettle her. Whether you are a chief or a thief, whether you are installed improperly or other, oh, very soon. We're in the process of doing that, and this premature April Fool's joke that's been put on us with some installation. Which
installation has taken place?
A viewer sent a press statement or a letter to all clan houses, outright rejection of William Odoi Cornell as Jasiche. Yes, and said he stated the reasons for which, it wasn't. Yes, it is an illegality, and he has a glaring deformity. We prefer a much younger candidate. Customs and tradition for his nomination was not followed. Installation rites were started on Saturday, 12:09 a.m. instead of Friday. The rites were started without the presence of the required elders. Subsequently, the meat shed has been rejected by the various houses, which indicates the rejection of the rite. It was not performed in Akonowe, the right place it was supposed to be performed. These are some of the.
We received this petition at the family meeting, the regular family meetings on Sunday, and I think all other family houses is been rejected. Normally, customarily, when the decisions are being done, they're supposed to be done on a Friday. So yes, it was done on a Saturday. Wrong time. Then also it's supposed to be done in a particular place, Akonowe. It wasn't done there, so it's not happened.
Maybe it's innovation.
And the meat also, like Salah, the share meat. The meat was rejected by. So essentially, nobody has accepted him. And so let's see it as a bad joke. Let's see it as a bad joke, and let's reset and do the right thing. But you see, I'm coming specifically to this thing. Now, if La doesn't have good leadership and doesn't pursue our lands, these things would have gone. The La Manche, the former La Manche, that's Ne Obitetitru, wrote a petition to Akufo-Addo. I was the one who sent it to the president's office on 29 December 2017. And the petition said that the military was clandestinely annexing La lands, and he stated various things in the petition, calling on the president to act. The president's failure to act is what initiated our action against Judge Sofa Akufo, because the president had, in fact, in that petition, the La Manche had indicated that it was last notice because he had sent the Attorney General, and that La was going to go to court. If we are to go to court, whose court are we going to go to? You who has taken a land for 7,000. You who together with Jake Obetiblamte had gotten Cantonment's land for 7,000 each. But you sat as a Supreme Court judge in Jake's matter at Ridge. But you did not go in favor of Jake. You said Jake was wrong, so the thing should be taken from Jake, which was the position that we took. Now, if you stand by your position, which we took, which Omani and Okride also took, which Ghanaians believe that these loots must be recovered, then why don't you return the loot that you've taken in cantonments with the same Jake? she's still holding on to it. Now, when you come to this Chief Justice's matter and the petition before the Council of State, I wonder what advice she would give, because she was supposed to have been handed a similar thing.
Yes.
And she was shielded by a President Akufo-Addo. So maybe she may recuse herself from that. I don't know. But if she does, that would be the right thing to do. Right. In the case of Theodore Wood, what President Mills did at the time was to retrieve the land from all of them. And then he's used it to build the Ministry of Foreign Affairs complex. We as La people have no difficulty with it, because give it for the use of foreign affairs, and the state can decide to use it for foreign affairs related matter. So if the foreign affairs main office is bent and they are using it for a new one, no problem. But if it is being given to others, then we have a problem. And I'm happy that John Mahama, President of the Republic of Ghana, indicated that all foreign affairs lands must be returned immediately, whether it's been given to A or B. He's issued that, and he's issued another thing that all the lands commission leases, etc., sales, etc., halted on all state lands, including even compensations. No compensation should be given to anybody. Freeze. Because some of our chiefs are also trying to use these compensation rules to steal and to sell, and it should not happen. Look, no chief should shortchange its people, make them landless, or use the stools to annex the collective property. That I am totally opposed to. It must be for the collective good of the people who the stool represents, and also the states. Look, presidents are given the power to, as it were, use it eminent domain or executive instrument to take lands anywhere. But these lands must be used for stated purposes, and the durations must be known. And so the petition I did against Sofa Akufu indicated, look, when you see that, we should have a whole program on those people listed. I knew Akufo-Addo wasn't going to act on it, because the people in it, if he did, tell it would be disastrous. Look, notable names, notable names. And so Operation Recover All Route, and all must recover all. None of them is
recover it. Our time is up. We need to go. Thank you so much, Prince Derek Adjei, and thank you, Dr. Marzouk. Thank you, Mr. Solomon. Also, it's been an enjoyable, very insightful conversation here on Good Morning Africa. I want to thank our cherished viewers for their time, and those of you who watch from other parts of the continent. Thank you so much. Enjoy the holiday. Tomorrow a holiday as well, but once again we'll be here to speak to the issues.
The 2 holidays he promised.
Yes.
Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. بليت بحب المصطفى الختم أحمدا أبي الكون والأخلاق فرعان ومهتدا أتاني هواه قبل أن أعرف الهوى النبي محمد سليت بنيران اشتياقي أحمدا علمت به والناس في سنة الكرم. السلام عليكم. أتاني هواه قبل أن أعرف الهوى سليت بنيران اشتياقي أحمدا علمت به والناس في سنة الكرام تمتعت منه دار إذ كنت مفردا وزهمت في هذا الزمان وإنني لفي غيرة ممن يروم محمدا ولكنني
نعم الحمد لله رب العالمين. الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله. الله أكبر الله أكبر ولله الحمد. الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله. الله أكبر الله أكبر ولله الحمد. These are how we are told by our scholars to always be saying it repeatedly on this day, because this is a very special day for Muslims across the globe. This is a very special day after we observe the prayers. So fortunately for us, after we had the prayers, we're going to have the sermon, which is very, very important. Quite often, you know, as soon as we pray, you have a lot of people leaving the Eid grounds, which is not the best. So it is very, very important that we listen to the message by His Eminence the National Chief Imam. The message is very, very important and is part of the prayers.
That's right. That's right. Yeah. Particularly for this year, we have to pay attention to the sermon of the National Chief Imam and also the message of the President of the land. It's important for us to listen because this year's Eid al-Fitr is a very special one, and therefore all Ghanaians are laying down their truths for the 2 days holidays beginning today and tomorrow. As we said from the very beginning, the Ramadan month is the month of the Quran, and therefore this particular program, we are actually launching a new project, the project of the digitalization of the Quran. And we have in my hands here the copy.
Now we are having a sermon. The sermon that is delivered on behalf of His Eminence, the National Chief Imam.
Okay.
So I think we'll go for a sermon.
Okay.
Then after which we come back and then look at what is in there for us.
That's right. Thank you.
Allahu Akbar kabira. والحمد لله كثيرا. ما شاء الله. نعم الحمد لله. So as we are listening to the sermon that's delivered on behalf of the National Chief Imam, His Excellency the President of the Republic of Ghana, His Excellency Don Dramani Mahama, is on his way almost to step foot on the grounds. MashaAllah, as you can see, he is coming with the entourage to join us at the Eid grounds to also celebrate with us as Muslims. That's what makes us unique as Ghanaians. Yes. Very soon he's going to join us to have the prayer as we observe the Eid al-Fitr. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullah.
Eid Mubarak.
Eid Mubarak.
Yes, congratulations.
Congratulations to you too, mashallah.
Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has made it possible to break the fast. So this Eid, what is there for you? What can you tell us, our cherished viewers who are watching us?
Alhamdulillah, I have nothing to say rather than being thankful to the Almighty Allah for making us commence the month of Ramadan with Bismillah and making an end it with Alhamdulillah. All praises and thanks are due to Him, Allah. We pray that all the blessings embedded in the month of Ramadan should shine upon our lives and our country and our parents. All our departed souls, may Allah have mercy on them, and we that are alive, may Allah let us have good.
Ameen, ya Rabbi. Yes, so maybe if you can give us maybe 1 or 2 lessons that you have learned or you have been able to go through this particular fasting.
Few lessons that I've been able to.
Yes, you can see His Excellency the President. Yes, shaking hands with the congregants. Yes, now he's going to take his seat up there, inshallah. Mashallah, you can see everybody just making noise in a very enthusiastic manner, very happy, very joyous, and that's what makes us as Ghanaians. His Excellency President John Dramani Mahama has just joined us at the Eid grounds. Yeah, so let me listen to you. Maybe what is 1 or 2 things that you have learned through this particular Ramadan in particular?
Alhamdulillah, the month of Ramadan has taught me that I have to be compassionate towards my fellow human beings, and then the spirit of sharing with one another, and the spirit of piousness. Alhamdulillah, those are the few I can make mention of.
Obio, today is very special. So those special in your life, if you can express your Barakah Salah, maybe in your language or in Hausa, in any other dialect, so that directly as they are watching, they'll be able to appreciate what you are saying.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. Yan waye na musulmai, na mika gaisuwa na musamman na barka da sallah zuwa ga dan kakan namu National Chief Imam Sheikh Dr. Usman Musha rubutu alkiblan mu baki daya. Muna roƙon Allah ya kara masa lafiya, Allah ya kaye jayin mu na kwanukan shi a cikin aminci da koshin lafiya don albarkar Rasulullahi sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Iyayen mu kuma da suka yi wafati, Allah ya kara musu rahma. Amin. Allah ya kara musu rahma. Mu kuma da muka saura a cikin halin rayuwa, Allah ya kyautata namu bayan nasu don alfarman manzo Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Ina kuma mika gaisuwa ga uwana Hajiya Halimatu Sadiya. Allah ina miki barka da sallah, Allah ya kara miki lafiya, Allah ya sa ki raka da mu nisa da Hajiya Hannatu, family sha rubutu da danjo a bari baki daya. Ina mika gaisuwa da al'umman musulmai duniya duka baki da ina muku barka da sallah.
To barka kare, Allah maimaita mana, Allah mun karba, Allah ya karba mana. Mun gode. Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. Haj, now you see, as we are taking or listening to the sermon, His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Ghana, has just joined us. And you can see the crowd.
It's not small.
The joy and the happiness.
Yes, inshallah, all over the country. All over the country. As we're all saying from the very beginning, we're now launching the digitalization of the Quran. The Quran has already been digitalized in such a way that all the 8 billion people across the globe should not say that they have not seen the Quran before. Here in Ghana, we are ensuring that the Quran is distributed free of charge in a digital format. I hold in my hands now the hard copy of the Quran with Arabic text translated with a detailed commentary and in-depth index of the Quran. We are making it available to all Ghanaians in a digitalized form, together with so many other books. So to have it free of charge, you simply have to send us Salam Alaikum digitalized Quran. Salam Alaikum digitalized Quran. When you text us through our WhatsApp 0243829579, you have a digitalized copy of the Quran. That one is easily shared among all people across the globe because the handling of the hard copy has some regulations which most people cannot adhere to. Because the Quran cannot be put under books, can only be kept on books. If you cannot do that, we can't give you the hard copy. The Quran is not carried into bathrooms or toilet areas or areas where they drink liquor. So, but the digitalized Quran is on your phone, is on your smartphone, anywhere at all you can send it. Because when you are touching the phone, you are only touching the screen. You are not touching the Quran. But you can read, you can understand, it can be read to your
truly African.